Hello, 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 it's coffee time. Gee, I wonder what happened yesterday. Yeah, Truss resigned shortly after I did coffee time. Why couldn't you have waited? Oh, wait a minute, we do have some snoring dog. Oh, there's some good snoring dog there. Yeah, we're looking at another prime ministerial race, though it's going to be all over by next week, apparently. It's going to be all over soon. But yes, our fluffy-haired leader, Boris Johnson, is flying home from holiday because, you know, he hasn't had enough holidays this year. They have something like 22 weeks holiday, and he was off on holiday. Well, it was a working holiday, wasn't it? When he should have been home voting. Do you remember there was a vote? There was a vote the other day. Oh, and Rishi Sunak. Oh, again, hasn't formally been announced yet, but it could be a battle between Bojo and Dishy Rishi. I think this is brilliant. I think this is it just shows you what an absolute joke modern politics is. All of them. You know, they wanted him out, they got rid of him, and now they got rid of the other one. You know, you've got to remember, ever since, the last prime minister we had who didn't resign was Gordon Brown, right? Just think back, 2010. Gordon Brown is the last prime minister who didn't resign. I mean, you could say that Tony Blair before he resigned, didn't he? He stepped down to let Gordon Brown be prime minister for a couple of years. And since then, every prime minister has resigned, not been deposed, not been, you know, lost an election, resigned. Cameron resigned. May resigned. Bojo resigned. Truss resigned. Do you see the pattern here? Do you see it? You see there's a pattern. Politics is busted. It's broken. And you know what I blame? Brexit. It's all my fault for voting to leave the EU. And God damn it, I'd do it again. So, well, why, Dan? Why did you vote for the vote against the EU? Well, you know, as I've said before, it all goes back to 1992 and John Major. Again, somebody who got the role because Thatcher resigned, you know. There's a pattern emerging here, isn't there? And they only forced Thatcher out because she turned against the EU. She's very pro it, and then she realised what a nest of vipers that was, and then the Tories turned against her. Because remember, Tories were always pro-EU, and it was Labour who was anti-EU. That's where it used to be, and then it all got a bit flip-floppy, didn't it? It all got a bit flip-floppy. But yeah, this is all because of the referendum, and our politics is kind of viewed through that prism now, because each party has little, you know, subdivisions of pro and anti-EU sentiment, and I think again this is why our politics is bust. We broke it. We gone done broke it, and that's also because, you know, a lot of these politicos, you know, they're not true to themselves and they're not true to the electorate, and that's what you see every time. Every time. So yeah, Boris is flying back from the Dominican Republic. I mean, he's already done, I know he's done one private speaking engagement which netted him 150 grand. So yeah. Whereas some say we should just have an election and let Keir Starmer fuck things up for a bit, because that'll be good. Because then we're going to have thought crimes imposed upon us. It's going to be great under the Labour Party. Like I say, our politics is fundamentally broken. People's Parliament, I've said it before and I'm going to keep saying it, all these bloody politicos, or at least let's have a monarchy back. Because remember, you know, monarchs like they like their subjects. They like their subjects to be fit and healthy, because you need them fit and healthy and on your side when you want them to win wars for you, you see. That's why we need to go back to a monarchy. Charlie wouldn't let this happen. Charlie would look after us. But yeah, the other thing is that now Truss is out. How many days did she do? Was it 44 days? She is the shortest, not in height, shortest Prime Minister there's been. But she's still going to pocket £115,000 a year allowance for being Prime Minister. She could pocket that still. And everyone's going, oh, that's not fair. I'll say, God, let her have it. It's only money, isn't it? It's only money. You see, this is what goes on. They get money thrown at them. That's why everybody wants to be a politico. It's just a licence to print money, isn't it? But yeah, another race for PM. Mind you, I've got to go in a minute because I'm covering for PM for half an hour this afternoon. 4:30 to 5 o'clock. It's my turn. All right. It's like being at the bacon counter, isn't it? So I've got to rush things along a bit. Yeah, there is. This is sad. You know, you've had all the eco protesters blocking motorways and blocking the Dartford Bridge the other day. We had Marcus Decker and Morgan Trowland, who climbed to the top of the Dartford Bridge and was there for, I think, about 48 hours. They're Just Stop Oil protesters. Well, I know people say melodramatic when they say, "Oh, you know, you're hurting the people," but yeah, Lisa Webber, right? This lady here died as a result of their actions. How so? Well, she, again, it's a bit of a story to unpack. Yeah, there was an accident on the M20. Again, there's a lot to unpack. She was hit by a speeding BMW and was thrown onto oncoming traffic when she stopped on the hard shoulder of the M20 to help another driver who'd lost control in heavy rain. And this was 4 hours after the protest began, but there was a huge traffic jam and caused by the M25, and people were trying to avoid the road. But yeah, instead, their actions brought traffic to a standstill on the M20 and caused a crash, directly caused a crash in which 2 women died. And yeah, this is... So we had, Lisa Webber was one of the women. I don't think they've named the other lady who was involved. But yeah, another fellow, Mark, was it Mark? What's his name? Mark Heap. Again, I just think of the actor, was injured as well as part of this crash, and they have actually a picture of the crash on the M20. There we go. So yeah, their actions do have consequences, but not necessarily consequences that they want. Meanwhile, more political news. This is Labour MP Christian Matheson. He looks happy. He's not very happy today. Why is that, Darren? Well, he's had to quit. What's he been up to? Well, he's had to resign as MP, right? For his City of Chester MP. Because he's been suspended from the Commons after serious sexual misconduct claims by an ex-staff member. The married 54-year-old was suspended from Labour over the serious allegations, and he's had to step down. Ooh. You'd think they'd be busy, wouldn't you? You'd think they'd be busy politicking, but they're not. They're not. Meanwhile, Mayor Khan, Steve Khan, he's £12.50 ULEZ, that's the ultra low emissions zone, has made nearly £100 million under a year. We have a picture of the zone here. It's the current. We've got the current one, which is the green area. The purple one is where it's proposed to expand to, and of course it's coming out and almost as close to us. It's actually encroaching into Essex, which again I must ask, does he have any remit to do this? Because he's London Mayor, not Essex Mayor. And the red bit is the congestion charge zone. But yeah, it's a nice little earner. But the thing is even though it's supposed to be tackling pollution, that's why it's called the ultra low emission zone, car emissions. Scientifically, it's found that it's had absolutely no impact on air quality in London, but it's had a lovely impact on London Transport, TfL, because they are making money, and that's what it's all about. All these fines for again, I'm not a fan of motorists, but motorists are seen as a giant cash cow for government. We're going to say government because they are a part of government departments. So there you go. Meanwhile, let's not go anywhere. This is the Area Linus Argentinus AR 1133 flight that took off from Madrid and was heading to Buenos Aires on 18th of October at 21 minutes past 8 in the evening. And turbulence on the flight lasted several hours. Oh dear. And resulted in, well, that kind of wreckage. This lady looks like she's had her face smashed in. It's all happening behind the scenes. And yeah, if you've ever been in turbulence, it's not good. Everything. The company said that the passengers were warned, but many disagreed with that version of events. Yeah, they suffered from severe turbulence. Passengers were injured, suffering cuts and bruises, and some had severe injuries. Passenger Adrian Torres says, we've flown for about 7 hours and almost all of us had slept because at that time it was almost 3 in the morning, European time. But the plane started to move a lot, and I said to my colleagues, "Oh, how much turbulence? Buckle up!" And as I fumbled for my seatbelt, the plane encountered severe turbulence, and the plane suddenly dropped meters, and they shot to the ceiling, leaving him with bruises. And his colleague ended up with a broken nose. At least 12 people were injured. 3 of them were hospitalised. One of them had a broken nose. My goodness. Don't go anywhere, just stay at home. Just stay at home. Meanwhile, we have passive-aggressive stuff. This is the story of Rebecca Melvin. She's an NHS hospital worker, and she's been parking, I guess, in Madden Close, which is close to Nottingham City Hospital. The receptionist says she's not done anything wrong because the street wasn't a private street, it was a public street, and she wasn't blocking anywhere, but she found a note. Oh, this estate is not a car park. Find an alternative parking solution. I expect not to see your car parked here again. Ooh, Again, this is an issue. Well, I mean, we have it here, where people park in this road where we live to go to offices which are nearly a 5-minute walk away. If you're slow, call it 2.5-minute walk. What are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can do because these are public roads. But similar thing happened to the missus, didn't it, Mrs? Do you remember when you parked in a car park, funnily enough, in an actual bona fide car park, and somebody left a very rude note, threatening note on your car? Didn't you? Do you remember that? Yeah. Oh, those were the days. That was in an actual bona fide car park, though. There you go. We can always up that story. So, yeah. Meanwhile, energy crisis. Official government documents. It almost looks like a bingo card, but this is when there could be blackout times during the day. It's going to be fine. Remember, get your generators and your candles. 4 candles. Yeah, the Electricity Supply Emergency Code, ESEC, allows the Prime Minister to introduce rolling power cuts. Prime Minister? What Prime Minister? We've got a Prime Minister. But yeah, there's going to be power. They reckon it could be rolling blackouts. No, we don't have brownouts anymore. Do you remember when we used to have brownouts? No, nobody remembers brownouts. A brownout is different from a blackout. And this is the worst case scenario. I like this one. Look at that. Everything's off. Everything off. This is a good one. It's funny, I used to find this inside of Jet Set Willy. Do you remember? ZX Spectrum? The piracy code sheet from Jet Set Willy. That is a retro game joke. Nobody knows about that. Oh god, miserable story. Oh, that's a miserable one. Meanwhile, this is one way to find love. Are you lonely? Are you lonely? Of course you're lonely. You're watching this. Only sad, lonely people watch this nonsense. But if you're looking for love, have you thought of creating a PowerPoint presentation? Well, Victoria Voos, who's 31 from San Diego in California, has done a little PowerPoint presentation. Here you go. These are some of her favourite things. Though she even likes pickles. Whoops. Apparently, yeah. As a cute dog. That's reason number 4. So that's a novel way of doing it. But they do say if you've got a Tinder account, if you can make it as unique as possible, it helps. You know. But I don't think that a T-shirt's going to get her any. A men need therapy T-shirt. I don't think that's going to win you any was it right swipes? Not that I know about these things. Are you dull? Are you dull? Are you boring? Oh, there's somebody at the door. Don't worry, it's nothing exciting, it's just drugs. Drugs by post. Lovely drugs. If it was anything exciting, I'd show you, but it's not. Are you dull? Are you boring? I know I am. Well, the dullest man in Britain has got a new calendar out. Kevin Beresford has spent several months travelling the length of the entire country reviewing parking spaces. Yes, I shit you not. He's got a calendar of car parks. January's looking good. Oh, February's spicy. Just remember, if you think you're dull and boring, there's always somebody out there that's going to beat you to it. They say, hold my pint. Let me show you April. Yes, he's travelled the length and breadth of these fair isles looking for car parks, like you do. And it can cost you 12. Was it? Well, how much is it? Has it got the price of the calendar? Has it got where you can order it? Where is it? God, it's a big article. It's a huge article. Yeah, Dull Kev. He's got a website, Dull Kev, Ambassador for the Mundane. And if you go there, you can buy his calendar. It's dullkev.com. Of course it is. He's got a number of calendars on offer, including Benches of Birmingham, Benches of Reddit, Best of British Roundabouts, Car Parks of Britain, Footballers Barnets. What the actual heck? Here you go. Footballers Barnets, past and present, where you can see their haircuts. Of course you can. Yeah, so if you like really dull things, he's your man. Dull Kev. Rubbish Tips of England. Yeah. And there's a whole calendar dedicated to Jack Grealish's calves. He's not joking around. He really is dull. Oh boy, I think they call him an eccentric. Yeah, eccentric. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if there are any other good ones. Yes. Do you remember chess prodigy Hans Neumann? I've got a bit of a frog. I've got a bit of a cold actually. But you know what? I thought I'd battle on for the 150 people who tune in regularly for coffee time. All right, missus. But yeah, Hans Neumann. Do you remember Hans Neumann? He was the chess prodigy. Now I've got to be careful because I don't know if this is a libel or not. He was accused of using anal beads to cheat at chess, like you do. Bishop to pawn 4. Your move. Oh. Yeah, the teenage chess prodigy Hans Neumann is suing the Norwegian grandmaster who accused him of using anal beads to cheat, as well as online platform chess.com, claiming they defamed him and sought to blacklist him from the game. In court papers filed in Missouri on Thursday, he's looking at $100 million in claims. Of course he is. I mean, does he look like the kind of guy who'd stick something up his bum to cheat at chess? Well, I'm just asking. But yeah, I mean, but the funny thing is chess.com claims that they've got evidence of him cheating. So it could be a very strategic court case. Maybe the pieces will fall into place and he'll get a big check, mate. Meanwhile, Met Police have had to apologise. What have they been up to? Don't worry, it's nothing serious. They've had to pay £10,000 in damages to Hatun Tash. Here they are. This is Mrs. Tash. She's a Christian speaker or preacher, and she was arrested twice at Speaker's Corner wrongly, because she said she was threatened by Islamic demonstrators. Again, over in the UK, in Hyde Park, we have Speaker's Corner where you can go there and you can preach, say whatever you want within reason. And yeah, she was preaching there. She used to go there to obviously talk about Christian themes, and Islamic speakers came and threatened her, and so she went to the police and said, look, the other preachers are threatening me, and they arrested her even though she'd been threatened with violence. So she took legal action against Scotland Yard, and yeah, she won because they reckon she'd been wrongly arrested twice. You see, in this case, in this incident, I mean, this is shocking. She was actually stabbed in the face. You can see the blood by one of her attackers. And again, this is where justice fails, And instead of getting the person who attacked her. They arrested her instead. So good for her. Good for her. I've seen our new home, Mrs. I've seen our new home. Are you ready? Here it is. Yes, it's it's a glamping site which has its own spaceship. It's Apple Camping, which has been on Channel 4's Four in a Bed and My Unique B&B on the BBC. But its owner, Toby Rees-Davis, has decided to sell the campsite near Redbirth in Pembrokeshire, which has a UFO, and it's also got a train carriage, or no, it's also got an airplane and a train carriage where you can stay, because, you know, we could buy it, couldn't we? It could be our new business. 1.25 million. I'll have to pass. I'm broke. I have to broke. Yeah. Oh, that's not a good one. Mind you, this isn't. You know, Kevin Spacey. You know, Kevin Spacey was in court recently, accused of assaulting Anthony Rapp. He's in Star Trek Discovery. When he was 14. Well, the Spacey wins. Anthony Rapp wanted 40 million in damages, but yeah, the panel took 1 hour and 20 minutes to reach the verdict, and Spacey wins. There we go. Didn't see that one coming. There's somebody at the door. This is good. I planned this one wrong today, didn't I? Oh, it's Amazon Man. Don't worry, it's nothing good. I'll show you if you want. We can do an unboxing because I'm quite excited. It is T.S. Eliot, The Wasteland, the annotated original manuscripts. Oh, can't wait. Sorry, I've been waiting for that to arrive. You know, it's the 100th anniversary of The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot. There you go. Well, I'm at Puff again. Where were we? Trying to. Oh God, we're nearly at the end. We're nearly at the end. And I think I did have a few in the funny folder. This was a good one. This is the story of Jo Mary Perryman, and it's not a very good picture of her, I'm afraid, but she is a legend, right? She is a legend. She's from Texas, and she passed away on October the 12th, and yeah, at the funeral, this is genius. I love this. At a funeral, they handed out cards with a mini Ouija board in saying, "Let's keep in touch." And I love the picture she's got. She's just genuine legend. And it was handed out at her funeral on October the 18th. What a legend. I mean, I'd have been sniggering. I just love that. Got a great sense of humour in it, you know. In a time, I just think that's I really like that. Meanwhile, here's a tip for you. This is, I forgot the lady's name. Well, she's a TikTok user called Shannon Song, right? And she had put a video up, you know, and she's got a really handy tip if you want to get sent home from work, right? Yeah. She said, why don't you wear an inappropriate outfit? Not going to work for me, love. Not going to work for me. But yeah, whenever she wants to get sent home, she wears this outfit, apparently. Something there for the dads. There's not a lot going on TikTok, is there? It's not a lot. Right, what else have we got? Animal news? Okay, let's do animal news. You're going to like this. This is... oh, crikey, we're going over time. This is Cumbria's police firearms unit. There's a new face of law enforcement on town. Yes. Are you ready for this? It's RoboDog. Yes. Their canine unit have been equipped with new high-tech video helmets, so they can send them up ahead and basically scout out the little camera on there. It's RoboDog. So Rover goes, you want me to go up with a camera on my head? Are you sure? I'm here to sniff out things. But yeah, the idea is that they can send the dogs into hostile environments and yeah, see the footage. And here's the test footage. Look, he's running in and yeah, finds the fella sitting at the desk. Look, that's good, isn't it? I just love the look on his face. He's saying, you would tell me if I look stupid in this. That's what he's saying. So yeah, RoboDog, a super canine face of law enforcement. Well, I'm sorry that today's coffee time has been a bit all over the place because the postman's been out and about and Amazon man. Anyone in? Karen's in. Hello. Hello, Karen. Andrew's in. Hello. Boris will return. Do you think? I hope so. Oh, my I want Boris back. You see, I'm of the mind, because we don't have a choice in this, and I don't think that votes of no confidence should be triggered to get rid of prime ministers. I think the whole of Parliament should do a vote of no confidence to trigger an election, because we don't get to choose the prime minister, you know. And if they have no faith in the Prime Minister, then there's no faith in the party. And so instead of ditching the Prime Minister and creating political instability, another election in which then they choose their new Prime Minister, then we get to vote. And that's how it should be. So I still think Boris should be in, even though he's done bad things. They criminalised everyone. They criminalised everyone just going out and meeting and whatnot. And they set a precedent by doing the whole Partygate thing. It meant that all those people that got fines for meeting and having parties during lockdown all got criminalised. And yeah, I don't agree with that, you know. So, but yeah, I think Boris should be allowed to. He should never have been kicked out. He should have just, you know, stood it to the end and let the public decide. Because we don't decide who the PM is. This is it. We decided when Boris was, you know, because he called an election, didn't he? He called an election, and got a healthy 80-seat mandate. So, yeah. Tommy's in. He says, "Happy Friday from Somerset." Do you say that? I bet you don't say Somerset. I bet you don't speak with a Somerset accent in No, you speak like New Jersey, Somerset in No, I'm doing both then. It all got smashed into one. I did Somerset and New Jersey. Somerset, New Jersey. There you go. Andrew said, more vinyl? No vinyl. Andrew said, hey, that's T.S. Eliot, looks rather good, watch the programme on the Wasteland. I did too, but I'm a big fan. I studied it when I did my A-levels, and it's a very important poem, and it's even more relevant now than it was back in 1922. It's a great piece of work, and yeah, and I even reference it in my new CD called Fragments. Oh, do you, Darren? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Anyway, thank you for watching. Tommy said, I don't speak like that at all. Of course you don't. It's a joke. He does a Philly accent. I don't know what a Philly is. I come from Philadelphia. That's a Philly accent, isn't it? That sounds about right. Anyway, thank you for watching. I've insulted the East Coast of America, and they won't be tuning in anymore, and we'll do this all again soon. That was coffee time. I've made a complete pig's ear of this today because there were people at the door, and I was running up and down the stairs, and my nose is running. I've got a bit of a cough. My throat, it's the vid. I've got the vid. No, it's just a cold. And yeah, we'll do this all again soon. That has been the news. Ruining the channel, one video at a time. And you've got to drink up. Have a good weekend, everyone. Ta-ta.